Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then thank you so much for stopping by. It's really appreciated. My name's Sharon and my channel is called The Retirement Edit UK. I am semi-retired and I work part-time, and this currently gives me time to be able to take my mum shopping every week. I see family and friends, and it also gives me time to do my vlogging and my other hobbies like reading, walking and going to charity shops. So if you're returning, then thank you so much for coming back and also for leaving your comments. I really do enjoy reading, and yeah, it's great to hear what you think about things, and especially on my last vlog I really did enjoy reading your comments about your memories of British home stores back in the day. I think nearly everyone must have had a British home stores on their high street, and yeah, it brought back some great memories of the lighting department, the food hall, and some I know had cafes. Mine didn't, but a couple of you commented that you had cafes that you fondly remember. So what do I talk about on my vlog? I talk about cooking and recipes and cook with me's. Like I said earlier, I love going to charity shops and hunting down bargains, so I talk about that, and also buys from Vinted. And I also talk about personal finance and budgeting and keeping track using my spending diary and also my spending app. So if these are things that you are interested in hearing about, I would love it if you would carry on watching, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. So on today's vlog, I'm going to be showing you my shop that I did in Aldi earlier this week, and I also did a Marks and Spencer shop, so they're going to be coming up shortly. But I don't know if you've noticed, I've kind of got a different backdrop from normal, not at the computer table, and I'm not downstairs on the red sofa either. So basically this morning I had a little bit of, well, I just had an idea that I wanted to give my spare room, which was the boys' bedroom, a little bit of a mini makeover. So I didn't have any money to spend. It wasn't kind of like that. It just involved a little bit of decluttering if possible, getting rid of a bit of rubbish and reorganising the room so I could feel I could benefit from a different view really, and something a little bit more cosier. So it's mid-afternoon and it's taken me quite a few hours to get the room how I wanted it, and I'm going to show you a before and after. The thought behind it was that I just wanted to try and declutter some of the things that the boys had left. But bearing in mind, I didn't really want to be throwing away or giving away anything without their permission. But I knew there was some rubbishy bits in there that they most probably weren't going to miss or want. So I managed to fill up a bin bag with just some old shoes and yeah, some other bits and bobs which I know my youngest son definitely wouldn't want, and there was a bit of rubbish as well which I threw away. Managed to find some Pokemon toys which are going to be given to my granddaughter, so it was quite worth doing, to be fair. And then once I'd organised it all a little bit better, I thought, well, do I still really want it to be in that place in the corner near the window? Because as I opened the door, that's what I see. And to be honest, I just feel it's a little bit of an eyesore when I walk in the room. I don't mind having the stuff there because obviously the boys need to go through it to decide what they want, and I don't want to pressure them. They can do it in their own good time. I just didn't want it to be in a place where it was in my eye line really. So I thought, okay, I've decluttered their stuff. I've put a lot of it into boxes and into bags. And yeah, let's think about reorganising. So I basically moved the things that were of the boys from the top right hand corner into the bottom left hand corner, and I've moved the chair that I'm sitting in, that was in the top left hand corner near the window, to the right hand bottom corner, so I'm now facing my windows and I can just see my trees, which is lovely, and the sun when it comes in. And I've moved the computer table, which was here in the bottom right hand corner, and that is now between the two windows, similar to where my little table was with my little sound system on. So yeah, I've had a bit of a sort out, and also the rail that's got my coats, that's been moved along into the top left hand corner where this chair was. So let me show you the before, and then we'll go straight on to the after. I hope you like it. So this is the after, and I'm so pleased. So you can see that the light is shining through, and this is precisely why I wanted to do a little mini makeover of this room to make it more cosy. So in this corner now, I've got my IKEA lamp up, I've got my armchair, and I've got my little puff. I've got my music, my CDs, and that painting is something that was gifted to my eldest son by one of his friends when he was about 15 or 16. And as this was the boys' room, I want to keep this picture because it just reminds me of them. And I think by sitting in the chair, I just get a really nice view of looking out the window. I've got a tree directly outside. It's a bit hard to see, but you can see the tree. And yep, the sun's shining through, which is lovely. Then I've got my table, and I've got my rail here, and then I've basically decluttered some of my son's things that need collection, but as you can see from the before video, everything's all covered up now by the previous rug that had been put down. So even if I've got the door shut and I'm sitting down, it's not so much of an eyesore. So the room is still a work in progress, but I'm absolutely really happy with the mini makeover. It's just a cosy autumnal space, giving lovely cozy vibes for relaxing. And I'm sure at some point, maybe next year, I'll get some flooring. I just laid these throws down as temporary rugs, and they will do. They will do. They feel lovely underneath my feet, actually. But I just wanted to have a different view when I opened the door to this room and not seeing the eyesore that was in the corner of all the bags and boxes. And I've just now got my area where I sit and play music and read my book. And then when they do eventually sort their things out, which I feel is no pressure really, because it's kind of behind the door and out of my way. When that does eventually go, then the rail will be pushed back to where it was originally, and then this space here will just be open. And I think at that point, when they've collected their stuff, is when I will most probably think about carpeting or doing some laminate flooring in this room. But yeah, very happy with the space, and I'm going to enjoy using it this autumn just to feel cozy and relaxed. So I really feel that this space now is just so much more cozier. I've got the throws on the floor. They're so soft under my feet and are great as temporary rugs until I get permanent flooring sorted out. When I look to my left, all the boys' things are covered up with the throw that had been previously on the floor. I just gave it a good shake out. And all the boys' stuff's covered up anyway, so none of it will get, you know, dusty or anything. So really the only thing I've got in my eye line directly to the left of me is my clothes rail, which I can handle. More or less directly in front of me, behind the camera, is the computer table and chair with the flowers on. And then to my right here, I've got my little table and the picture in the corner, which I told you about earlier. So yeah, it just feels really cozy. And now I've got this lamp here that I got in IKEA. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. It just feels nice and cozy. The room's lovely and warm. I've never really had an issue with the warmth in this room, maybe because it is south facing, whereas my bedroom, which is north facing, yeah, that one is the one where I have to have the dehumidifier on very regularly in winter, because I just don't want damp coming in, and maybe it's because of the blackout curtains as well. It feels like, I wouldn't say it's not cozy, but it's more of a colder room than what this is. So yeah, very happy with this little mini makeover. I've not had to find any money for it. So next on the list is my shop at Aldi, and I'm going to follow that straight on with my shop at Marks and Spencer's. So I did do a short yesterday, and I hope that you managed to have a look at it. It featured some yellow sticker bargains at Marks and Spencer's, and also what I liked, loved and resisted. And you'll be able to see what I did actually buy from the yellow sticker section. So I'll be back. Good morning everybody. So it is midweek, it's Wednesday morning. I've just dropped my mum a paper, and I thought I would do a midweek shop at Aldi. I am going to Marks and Spencer's either Thursday morning or Friday morning, so maybe I'll get a couple of meat bits and a pie there. But I thought, yeah, let me go to Aldi and just grab some bits. So what did I get? Let's see. So I thought I would try Aldi's deep filled mince pies. And they were a pretty good price. They were £1.25 for 6. So yeah, I've tried the Sainsbury's short crust pastry ones, which I know Sharon, at living on a low income, she absolutely loves those. I liked them. I'm not going to say I didn't like them. I just found them a little bit sweet with a little bit too much sugar on top. Maybe it didn't help that I tipped up the packet upside down and all the sugar fell out everywhere. They were nice. They were nice. But yeah, I'm just trying other stores' mince pies. And yeah, I'm sure if I pop into Lidl, I will try their mince pies as well. And then next on the list, which was new, and I thought looked really nice because I do like Meat Feast pizzas, is this stone-baked sourdough pizza. And yeah, it is new. And that was £2.29. So looking forward to trying that. Then next on the list, if you'd seen one of my previous vlogs mentioning about what I wanted to buy before Christmas in Aldi, well, I've managed to get it. I'm pleased I did pick it up because there was only 4, I think, in there. I thought, you know what, I better get it. And although it's not marketed on the front packaging as the salt and pepper pork crackling leg joint, when you turn it over and look here, it says boneless pork leg with rind, added water and salt and pepper seasoning. So very happy with that. That will do for me and my son at some point over Christmas. And the price was brilliant, £3.99. Very happy with that. So yeah, I've got that out the way now. Then another new thing that I thought I would try is canned chili con carne. And I thought, you know what, that's ideal as a quick get out when I've got jacket potato. And for the price, I think it's worth it because for one person, it's ideal for a meal if, you know, you don't necessarily feel like or want to cook a whole packet of mince or part cook or just even cook mince. So I thought I would try this, and that was £1.85. So it's minced beef, and I think it's got kidney beans and peppers in when I read it. Thought that was a pretty good price for the can. And I did get 2 jacket potatoes. These were 24p each. And then I got some fruit and grain bars for my packed lunches for work. Actually, I do sometimes have one mid-morning as a light breakfast with a cup of tea. And these were £1.15. And you get 6 in a pack. Then next on the list, I did need some toothpaste. And that was £2.85. And then my first red sticker bargain is the Cavolo Nero Kale, and that was 30% off. So the normal price was 95p, and I got a 29p discount. So I thought that's ideal. I've got some sweet potatoes. So for dinner, maybe on Thursday or Friday night, I will have the kale, some sweet potatoes, and maybe defrost some sausages or a bit of chicken to go with that. Then the next red sticker bargain that I got, because I fancy a bacon sandwich for my brunch this morning. It's going to be a late breakfast, early lunch. I'm going to have a bacon sandwich, maybe with fried egg in it. And so the bacon was £2.49 with the red sticker discount of 30% off. That was 75p discount. Then next on the list, what I needed was some more foil, and that was £1.09. And I've got my friend Sharon on these now. I need to find out from her when she's done a taste test what she thinks of these. I think they're a pretty adequate alternative to Walker's. I mean, nothing beats Walker's ready salted. They're my absolute faves as well. But when they're just for packed lunch or a quick snack, you can't beat 85p for 6. And then next on the list, I've mentioned before that I really do like the Aldi specially selected easy peelers, and you get 6 in a pack here. These were £1.75. And then last on the list are the rich tea biscuits, and these were 49p. So my total shop here came to £22 and 19p. Not a bad price. Yeah. It doesn't feel like I've got an awful load there, but there's a couple of treats there. Oh, I didn't mention the Galaxy bars, did I? Yes. 4 Ripple Galaxies. I really like these. And I've gone off the own brand Aldi and Lidl milk chocolate and white chocolate bars. I thought, let me treat myself to something a little bit more indulgent. You get a 4-pack for £1.75, which I think is pretty reasonable, because that is about 45p a bar, which isn't really too bad, to be fair. And I think I have mentioned everything else, yes. So happy with that shop there. I'm pleased the pork leg crackling joint is out the way. And that's all from me for now. Hi everybody, it's just gone midday on Thursday afternoon, and I've returned back from Marks and Spencer's. So I take my mum food shopping every week, and every other week we go to Marks and Spencer's. And the particular Marks and Spencer's we went to today is just a food haul. And then we also went to Waitrose so she could get her fish and her meat. So she very kindly pays for my shopping in Marks and Spencer's. I'm very grateful and very blessed that she does this. She's not always going to be able to do it for me, so I appreciate that she does it for me at the moment. So I got a can of soup for the store cupboard. Cream of chicken soup. Does look actually quite nice, with British chicken and double cream, and that was 65p. Then next on the list was cauliflower, which was £1.20. I haven't had cauliflower, fresh cauliflower, for such a long while, so I thought, let me get that. Then next on the list was some medium cheddar, and that came to £2.80. My mum actually bought this for herself, and I thought, you know what, instead of me getting a pie this time round, why don't I try this? And it's Marks and Spencer best ever rich British beef lasagna. It does look really nice, doesn't it? So my mum's having hers for her lunch today. I think quite possibly I'll end up having mine over the weekend. But yeah, it does look ever so nice. So looking forward to that. That was £6. Then a yellow sticker bargain is the chicken dansack. As you can see there, it was £5.50 reduced to £3.30. And I'm looking forward to having that for my tea this evening. I will have that with some rice. And then next on the list are a couple of sausage rolls, and these were £1.10 for 2. Then next on the list, I haven't had fish for a little while, so these are 2 cod fillets in a light golden batter, and I may well have one over the weekend and freeze one. These were £4.50. Then next on the list were some grapes, red ones. These were £2.50. Then I needed some toilet roll. These were £2. And then I also needed a loaf of bread, and a small brown loaf was 65p. Then a treat, some beef and onion crisps. These were £1.70. And then another yellow sticker bargain treat. So these were £1.40, reduced to 78p. Egg custard tarts. Oh, haven't had these for quite a little while, so really looking forward to having these. And something else I haven't had for a little while is some sweets, and I do like Percy Pig and Pals ones. So these were £2. Then I needed some fresh ginger, and they had that in Marks and Spencer's. That was 81p. And then last on the list was some blackberries for £3. So yeah, so I've got some fruit, I've got some veg, I've got a couple of meal treats with the lasagna and the chicken dansak, got the cod fillets. So very happy with that shop there, really pleased with that. Anything there take your fancy at all? I haven't seen chicken dansak in Marks and Spencer's before, so I'm really looking forward to trying their one. And yeah, very much looking forward to trying the lasagna over the weekend. So that's my shop at Marks and Spencer's, and thank you so much for watching. So yeah, I did get a few nice little bits from Marks and Spencer's. Very happy with the shopping that got done this week. And I'm going to finish there. Please leave me some comments about what you think about the little mini makeover. I'd be really interested to know if it's going to inspire you to do a bit of decluttering or reorganising into any spare rooms that you might have. Yeah. How do you use your spare room? Is it set up as an office or as a sewing room, a reading room, or an overflow for clothes? Yeah, let me know. It's always great to have some new inspiration or new ideas as to how to do things. And also let me know if you're inspired by anything that I got in Aldi and Marks and Spencer's. So thanks so much for watching. As I said before, if you haven't already subscribed, would you please consider subscribing? It would mean a lot to me. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. So have a great weekend, whatever you're getting up to. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.